Oh, what a wonderful world. A world filled with possibility. Where you can create, where you can be, or do anything that you want. And there's only one question. So what do I do now?
Second Life is a social networking site. But unlike most, it is based within a 3D environment. People can travel through the world playing games, meeting others, and even make a life for themselves.
One of the most unusual things about Second Life is that it functions as its own economy. It has its own currency, its own industry, and every day over $1 million is spent within the game.
Shops in Second Life work similarly to that of the real world. Citizens pay for goods and services that have been created by people in the world. And this is where I make my money, in environments like this.
But of course, in order to buy something, you need to have money to do so. One of my favorite things about Second Life is that you can come to places like this. You can learn and experience things that maybe you consider inaccessible in real life.
Second Life gives me the opportunity to interact with people, which I am physically unable to do in real life. This is probably one of the most significant elements of the world. People can come and talk with others without judgment. You are talking to someone who is not there, in any real sense. It is almost like talking to yourself. You can work through problems you're having without fear for what the other person thinks of you.
So the question now is, what do people do with this anonymity? But maybe that's not what everyone does.
Of late there has been a lot of troublemakers appearing in the game. When you come to areas you will notice people are hired as security. There are more rules and warnings. People are secluding themselves in their own areas, where they cannot be harassed. Now, it's not simply a matter of coming to Second Life anymore. You need to acquire a passport before entering, a kind of trial before you are given access to all the game worlds.
It's getting tough coming to Second Life. Finding people to socialize with is getting more and more difficult.
It increasingly becomes more about business and less about socializing. It sometimes feels like people are only trying to sell you something. You are lured to areas thinking that there are people there, but all you come across is just people sitting, being paid to sit there. Paid to lure you to areas in the hopes that you'll part with your money. And when you try to explore randomly, empty areas. Shop after shop. You start to become bored, isolated from the rest of the world. You invariably end up in the same old areas with the same old people, and that one question still remains. What do I do now?
Being yourself, taking our time, cherish the friends we have, giving them something back. Weekends we all get whacked, searching for the promised land, curse in your hand, bury your head in the sand, searching for the promised land. Baby, we're damned, maybe you don't understand. Baby, they're onto us, maybe they'll follow us, but everything that you do is gonna come back at you, cursing the wasted years. Get me all here, and everyone's got the fear, 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 and everyone's got the fear.